Hi, this is JP, and today I want to talk to you about alcohol and weed. Some people still smoke weed, some people still need a beer or two or a glass of wine to go to bed to handle the stress or different excuses. So, today, what I want to do is I want to give you the tools so that you can fight. If you want to quit smoking weed, if you want to quit having a drink or two. So I'll get started by telling you that the first excuse people use for having a drink or two or smoking a joint is that they can't sleep. They get into bed and they feel like their desire to sleep is gone. So they go, they smoke a joint, they sit, they relax, they go back to bed, or they have a drink or two, they go back to bed, and then they feel relaxed and they immediately go to sleep. So if you have this case, I want to tell you that we have to remember that evil is a liar, and that he wants to have us trapped. He wants us to have us trapped, and he wants us unfree of anything that hurts us. So if your excuse is that you can sleep, let me tell you, if you believe in God, I'm going to read you Psalm 4:8. I will both lie down and sleep with peace, for you alone, Lord, make me be alive in peace. Proverbs 3:24 says, when you lie down, you will not be afraid. You will lie down and your sleep will be pleasant. So as you can see, insomnia is not from God. If you're still think that you need it, right now I tell you, insomnia is not from God. So you don't need it. You don't need weed. You don't need a drink. You don't need, well, what you need is the Holy Spirit to be in you so you can get asleep. If this is your case, repeat this Psalm 4:8 and repeat Proverbs 3:24 every time you have the desire of smoking weed. You gotta let God touch you. If the Holy Spirit is with you, He'll give you peace. And if you ask for a good sleep, God will give you a good sleep. The second thing we use as an excuse is that we feel stressed. God didn't say that our life wasn't going to be with worries, but He promised that He was going to walk through our worries with us. So most people, when they feel nervous, they need to smoke a joint, they need to have a drink. That's not from God. That's a lie. What that does is transportates you out of the situation into like a denial thing. You're out of reality. If you get stressed because you gotta pay bills, trust me, smoking weed every day, spending that money won't help you. Or spending two money on 2 drinks a day, it won't help you. It just makes you, it's like anesthesia. You stop thinking, you stop caring. But at the end, you're doing nothing about it. So it says in Philippians 4:6, do not worry about anything, but in everything through prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your request to God. Romans 8:26 says, in the same way, the Spirit also helps us in our weakness, because we do not know what to pray for as we should. But the Holy Spirit Himself intercedes us with an inexpressible groaning. Joshua 1:9 says, haven't I commanded you to be strong and courageous? Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So you might think like, oh, JP doesn't know how stressed I am, how many bills I have to pay, how many responsibilities I have. I don't know, but I know that God knows. And He said He was going to provide for you. And He said that He's a prayer away. So instead of looking for that joint, for that drink, Get on your knees and pray. Trust God. Trust that whatever you ask Him, He will supply to you according to His will and His righteousness. You have the right provider. What you do by relaxing won't solve your problem, but getting on your knees and pray will. So whenever you feel stressed, I recommend you to read and look for Philippians 4:6, Romans 8:26, Joshua 1:9, and repeat it inside your head and tell yourself, God, you will walk me through this. God, you're the God of the impossible, and I know you're with me and you will help me out in this situation. God, you're more than the bills I have to pay. You're more than my health issues. You're more than any responsibility I have. God is more than that. And Jesus gave you all that through the cross. Another thing that people would like to use is that they have physical injuries and they are in physical pain. That sounds kind of comprehensible. It's like a medicine that takes away your pain. But are you abusing of it? Does it really help you? Or are you just, again, putting some anesthesia on your spirit so that you think everything's okay, but pain comes back either? In case you didn't know, God says that through Jesus Christ's stripes we are healed, that He took our sickness, our pain away. In Proverbs 17:22 says, a joyful heart is good medicine, but a broken spirit dries up bones. We have to stay positive and we have to claim with our mouth that God is our healer, that we already healed, that our pain is gone through Jesus Christ. Exodus 15:26 says, I will not inflict any illness on you that I inflict over the Egyptians. I am the Lord who heals you. This is perfect right now for our COVID-19 situation. If you have somebody that is going through tough, instead of going to look for natural medicine, go for what is your nature in God. That's prayer. God already healed you, saved you, and gave you health. He even says that He protects you from different kind of sickness because He loves you. You're His son. He wants the best for you. Psalms 103:3 says, He forgives all your iniquities and He heals your diseases. Again, you don't need something to smoke to take the pain away. You don't need something to drink to forget about the pain you have. You have a healer. He already died and healed and went to the cross because of you. And He promised that He's going to heal you. He will do it. He will never take you forsaken, and He is a God of word. He never repents on His promise. So the first thing is when you feel alone, you're bored, you can feel a little bit sad. We all go through that too. But let me tell you, how do you feel after the effect of smoking a joint of weed? You feel bad again. You feel lonely again. How do you feel after the effects of alcohol? You feel lonely again. So I want to let you know that God says in Psalm 69:6, God makes a home for the lonely. He leads out prisoners. He lets out prisoners to freedom. That means spiritual freedom. That means emotional freedom. That means freedom of thoughts. You're not alone. There's a Jesus that lives inside your heart through the Holy Spirit. Talk to Him. Look for counseling with Him. When you start to feel it, start claiming God and tell God, I want to feel your presence. God, let me feel that you're inside my heart. I want to feel your fire. Take away this sadness, this loneliness. And you may be humanly alone, but trust me, you will feel the love of God. But you have to look for it. You got to knock on the door. You got to ask Him to come. You got to ask Him to reveal Himself. Instead of looking for a joint to forget that you're lonely, delight delight yourself in the company of God. Rebuild yourself in the company of God. Tell him to start speaking to your heart, to speak you words of wisdom. And you see that you will start enjoying your time alone. Full time. It's going to be a time of reconstruction, honesty, recovery. So in Isaiah 41:12, God says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be afraid, for what I'm your God. I will strengthen you with my righteous, and I'll carry you with my righteous right hand." In Romans 8:35, he said, "Who can separate us from the love of Christ?" Nothing can separate you from the love of Christ. Absolutely nothing. Whatever you go through doesn't separate you from the love of Christ. His love is bigger than absolutely everything. It's bigger than a brand new car. It's bigger than a new apartment. It's bigger than being homeless. It's bigger than having trouble with your health. He's bigger than anything. So you have to learn to enjoy his company and know that you are not alone, no matter what circumstances you're facing. No matter if you're having a hard time at work, no matter if your boss is harassing you, it doesn't matter. You are with God, and nothing will separate you from his love. The fifth thing people use weed and alcohol is for recreation. Okay, I'm bored. I have nothing to do. I'm not hurting anybody by doing it. Oh, it's proven that it doesn't do me any harm. Well, again, I'll read Psalms 68:3. "Let the righteous be joyful. Let them celebrate in high spirits before God." Yes, let them rejoice. If you have the Holy Spirit inside of you, if you want to serve God, do you really need a joint? Do you really need a drink? Don't answer. I already know the answer. You don't.